fall of Rome, and I bet you All right, Chad, how we doing? How we doing? And you're gonna make a lot of noise over there. You're gonna chew your chew. You're gonna get in bed. There's two options while I'm streaming. Yeah, that's what I thought. Chew chew. All righty. Ugh. Got some stuff to talk about this week. First, I want to talk about a very special lady, an entrepreneur, and I want to tell you about her, and then I want to cover her recent trials and tribulations. So let's go ahead and take a look at her. I posted the video in my Discord, so let's see if I can take a look in the Discord here. Okay, this is my Discord, by the way, folks. I know it's awesome. It's my awesome Discord. I'm trying to zoom in on this video a little bit. I wanted to just play it in the Movie Maker, but I tried a little bit before I went live, and Discord just doesn't want to cooperate and show the fucking video. It'll even Windows capture, but it just shows blank. So whatever. We'll just do this. It's easy for my boomer ass. So we're going to learn about this very special girl, and I'm just going to let her speak for herself here.
Hey guys, welcome to another day in the life of a girl who sells her farts in a jar. Since my last TikTok, I've completed over 100 more orders, and people have been asking me for proof. And
now, I want to make sure we're letting this sink in, folks. We are watching a video about a girl who sells her farts in a jar. Now, if you're not if you're not angry, you will be.
And the proof is in the pudding.
Okay, first of all, let's not talk about pudding while we're on this particular subject. Also, for those of you that a lot of people just listen to these sorts of programs. I understand that. This is a mostly audio program. She's showing her balance in her account of $78,147. Now, I don't know about you, chat, but I don't have $78,147 in my account right now. I don't know about you. If any of you do, maybe you should make with that super chats and be a little more generous, because I sure as fuck don't have that kind of money.
Look at that. You are welcome. So today started off very early. I had a radio show interview that was based in Mumbai, India.
Because of course it was.
So had to be up at 4 a.m. to get my hair and makeup ready so I'd look sexy for the fart buyers of India, who are one of my biggest demographics. Then I spent
Because of course they are. All right, India, can we talk for a minute? Y'all need to fucking sort yourselves out, all right? Because your behavior is not acceptable. Sincerely, the rest of the world, all right? So let's just get that out of the way. I don't know how much more I can get into without Susan coming for me, but yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
portion of my day working on my fart jar NFT.
Her fart jar NFT. Which, by the way, if you purchase a fart jar NFT, that is, as far as I'm concerned, considerably more degenerate than just buying the fart jar, okay? Because now you're engaging in a pyramid scheme about a fart jar. Seriously, can we get to a point where the NFT guys are actually looked down on more than the guys that spend money on OnlyFans? Because as far as I'm concerned, spending $10 for a picture of titties, or a chick's butthole, or a chick fingering herself or something, that is far better than spending $10,000 on a JPEG of a monkey. All right.
That are launching in just a couple weeks. I chat with my fart jar community on Discord, answering questions, talking about my
Queef's for sale too, apparently. A fart jar community on Discord.
farts and working with my graphic design team. And after that, I have some shipments to drop off at the post office. And then I get home, and I'm actually kind of feeling sad today because I got a phone call from one of my family members who thinks that I am an embarrassment. But then I sit under my Christmas tree looking at my account and know that it's better to be sad and rich.
I mean, that last sentence is a little based. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you can call her an embarrassment all you want, but, you know, if this is like a family member of yours, but you probably ain't got $78,000 in your fucking account right now. Oh. All right, you're going to get in your bed because you're young. No. You're not doing this to me. No, you're not going to decide to make a whole bunch of noise as soon as I stream. It's like you know. What? I didn't even touch you. You're trying to make me look bad on the camera, aren't you? You're trying to make me look bad. Make me look like I'm beating you. I am not beating you. I startled you. Why don't you just chew your chewy, bud? Come on. Ah, see, now everyone's going to be like, oh, you're beating the dog. I didn't even touch him. I come up behind him while he's rolling around. And then he gets startled because he's a pussy. All right. Yes, people in the chat have said they have their own brand of fart jar. You know, it occurs to me that there would be very little from Zach, for example. Get a cute girl on Fiverr, have her take some pictures, be the face of your brand, and then you could fart in the jars yourself. By the way, Bedglov is murdering his dog. Yeah, the dog disapproves of the fart jar top. By the way, let's get to the science of this for a second. The scientist in me has to wonder, does a fart even stay fresh in a jar? Aren't all the parts of a fart that actually smell, aren't they very reactive? So, like, probably not the glass, but aren't they going to, like... It looked like she was using a cork top. Aren't they just going to get absorbed into the cork? Like, I just feel like you're probably not getting your money's worth. I hate to even say that. But I feel like you're probably... You probably can't smell anything when you open it up. That would be my guess. I could be wrong. What do I know? I haven't purchased one of the fart jars. So I couldn't tell you. But that would be my guess. Don't make some noise over there, huh? Because when you sit on the chair, you should definitely scratch the chair before you lay down. That's important. Yeah, go ahead and do that some more. That's cool. That's super cool, dog. You know, Loki shut up when I was streaming. Loki just shut up. He just chilled. He wasn't a little ball of insanity like you. Well, we got some more with this girl. We're going to learn some more about her, all right? Because we're going to get to the tragic end of this story. But I feel like we need some more setup before we get to the third act. Okay, so we got to zoom back out. So this is more days in the life of the Weimar Republic.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you a day in the life of a girl who sells her farts in a jar. So I like to get things rolling with some beans, a protein muffin, sometimes even a yogurt. Less sugar is better, some hard-boiled eggs, and today I decided I was going to make myself a protein shake with some yogurt added to it, and oh God.
Oh, God.
I was feeling it for sure. While I wait for those farts to develop, I like to read. I'm very smart, love to read.
She's very smart, loves to read. I I doubt it. I'm going to press X to doubt on that. I'm going to feel like this is just the first book she found that she's having a picture taken with this book. It's like how LeBron James, you ever see LeBron James, like, he's always reading the first few pages of a book? Every time LeBron James loves to read the first chapter of books. He's always like, oh, I'm reading it. It's clearly a book he just started. Like, LeBron, you'd be better off just pretending and, like, go to the middle and pretend to read from there.
And then after I'm ready to go, I go ahead and, do my work, do my job. I don't need to show you that, guys, but I like to add in little flower petals. I feel like they attach the scent and make it last longer. And when I'm finally finished with my jar, I like to leave a personalized note. I want to thank you so much to the 97 people who've already purchased their jar of farts. And as
A personalized note. The 97...
you know,
This was earlier in it, too, by the way, just so we're clear. So she probably hadn't made $78,000 at this point.
they're on sale right now, 50% off of $1,000. So go to my Unfiltered and check it.
What the fuck did she just say?
And check it.
No. Go back.
Purchase their jar of farts. And as you know, they're on sale right now, 50% off of $1,000. So go to my Unfiltered.
Did she just say she... Oh, they're 50% off at the time of this. Well, that's a bargain. You'd be a fool not to get one. Did she just sell shoes? I'm sorry. I'm tripping over myself because I'm fucking speechless. The fucking Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch. Did she just say that she charges $1,000 for a fart jar? You could get like a PS5 and a Switch for that. Like $1,000 for this. I'm gonna be generous and say a 7. Really a 6. But okay. 7 maybe. To fart in a jar. Oh. People in the chat are saying it's over, folks. The civilization is over. Okay. So there's a let's be real, a happy ending to this story. So this bitch was consuming apparently so much beans and protein shakes and bran muffins and whatever the fuck else she was, coffee and whatever the fuck else she was doing to make herself gassy. I don't know. Me personally, just give me some fucking onions on something and I'm good to go a couple hours later. So, but she apparently gave herself a heart attack. This bitch farted her way into a heart attack. She had, dare I say it, a fart attack. Sorry, she's so childish. This is so stupid. She had a fart attack. Contrary to the nursery school rhyme, it turns out the beans were not indeed good for her heart. I can't do it. I can't even say these things with I'm not very still laughing. Truly, God is not mocked. This bitch. She's in her like her 20s and she farted her way into a heart attack. Exactly, Chad. It's a fart attack. She had a fart attack. Oh. She's retired from the fart selling game. She's going out on top. Like, she retired from the fart selling game. She had a fart attack. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh. Oh, that's classic. I was, wow. Colin had a good run. She didn't choose the fart life. The fart life chose her. This bitch selling fart jar NFTs. Live by the fart, die by the fart. That's right, Chad. Oh my God. When the wind blows. That's not for whom the thought farts. She farts for thee. Christian says he's putting away Christmas decorations. I agree, it is depressing. I'm kind of already done. I haven't stuck the trees in the garage yet, but like, you know, all the ornaments are put away and stuff like that. But I got fake trees that I don't even fold them up. I throw fucking blankets over and put them in the garage. Fart coin. That's right, Chad. I think a fart jar NFT is truly the most degenerate part of this story. It's the degeneracy frosting on the degeneracy cake. Oh. She farted herself into the hospital. Good Lord. $1,000 for her to fart on a flower petal and stick it in a jar and send it to you. $1,000. Like, you could get a high-class hooker for that. Like, you get the girlfriend experience for like a weekend or some shit. I don't know. Maybe not a weekend. Not in Joe Biden's economy. But certainly a night. Certainly an evening. $78,000 in her checking account and some change. So, I mean, we can assume that at least 78 people bought these things. How many did she say in that video? I don't know. My mind's already blanking it out. But $1,000 to sell your farts in a jar. At least we know she wasn't fake. There you go, chat. Again, though, it just seems like you could probably get a cute girl on Fiverr to be the model of your fucking business and then go ahead and do this yourself. I'm just saying, chat. She wasn't posting her dookies in the mail. Christian says, I'll be honest, farts just don't do it for me. Can't even see the appeal. Well, I thank you for your bold honesty there. I don't think there's a lot of people in this chat. Look, I'm a kinky motherfucker, and I don't want to buy your fart in a jar. I don't want to. I'd like to pretend girls don't fart. Like, exactly, Chad. Some thirsty motherfuckers are out there. Like, I try to think, like, what are like absolute unattainable celebrity crushes I've had. You know what I mean? Like, I try to think back, like, like Mariah Carey in her prime, like Mariah Carey, like circa like 1997 or some shit like that, like 95, something like that. Like, and I'm some thirsty like 13, 14-year-old kid who just, desperately chasing girls, don't know what to do. And I'm trying to think to myself, would I buy Mariah Carey's fart in a jar? I don't believe I would, even at that fucking stage. Even if that level of just... I can't imagine who's doing this. And again, she's not even that hot. She's all right. She's cute enough, but like... probably like a 6, let's be real. Yeah, Taylor Swift. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, I don't have any interest in that. So it says, get a cute girl, put a jar up your dog's ass. That's just, I believe that's fraud. That's just, somebody needs to call John Stossel in here to do consumer reporting. Can we get John Stossel to do some consumer reporting on whether or not the fart jars were real? have him appear on Tucker and just debunk the fart jars. Oh God. What is going on? Like, just go talk to girls. Like, why are you buying fart jars? It's brought to you by dog fart. Oh my God. I hadn't even thought of that. But yes, Chad, it would truly be brought to you by dog fart. Somebody says dog farts are rancid. They will know. Who's gonna... Like I said, who's gonna call in John Stossel and Ralph Nader to be your consumer reporter on a fucking fart jar? He says we all know, Bedglov, you have a Taylor Swift shrine, including the fart jars. Well, I'm not gonna deny the first part of that, but there's no fart jars on it. All right. Oh God. So he says, imagine being a mailman and a jar breaks in a truck. Again, I highly doubt that the smell lingers. I really don't think it does. I don't think you can capture a fart in a jar. I don't think it works that way. Again, maybe I'm wrong. What am I, a chemist? I don't know, but I know a little bit about chemistry and shit like that. I think that like a fart is mostly just regular air, like carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, that kind of shit. No pun intended. And but what makes it smell are things like sulfur, for example. Methane's in there, but I don't believe methane actually has an odor. It is the flammable part of it. But I feel like my hypothesis before we've done any experimentation in our Mr. Wizard lab, in our fucking Beekman's World lab here, my hypothesis is that the smell does not last even within a jar. That would be my hypothesis. Uh, so he says she can always fall back on her queefs in a jar. Well, it looked like she was selling queefs on there. Ugh. Why? What? Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you spend $1,000 on a fart jar, no less? Once again, you could buy like 2 of the 3 current fucking gaming consoles for that money. 'Sorry, bro. I didn't have money for a PS5. I spent all my money on fart jars. On a fart jar, $1,000. The Science of Farts by Chris Bedglov, available on Amazon. Someone should get Dr. Fossey. It might be the only useful science he's ever done. I don't know. I mean, if we're trying to get to the bottom of something, I'm not going to ask the guy who thought you could get AIDS from a toilet seat. You know, we're trying to actually figure shit out. No pun intended. $1,000. She's not even that hot. And of course, it's India. It's funny. I sent that original video to some people because when I discovered it a couple weeks ago, and I sent it to some people, and they were, a lot of them just figured it was fake. And then this girl's making the news for giving herself a fart attack. And I'm like, dude, I thought that video was fake. I don't know. Maybe Jack Murphy's bought them. I don't know. He might have bought a couple of them. Who knows? He seems like he might have a fart jar collection. What do you even do with a fart? Do you open it up and smell it? Or are you preserving it as like a collector's item? Oh, God. God help us all. So he says, I'm imagining a Bill Nye the Science Guy episode with just kids investigating farts. And, like, didn't y'all like have stuff like grossology and shit when you were a kid? Like when I was a kid, now this was like the late 80s, early 90s and that kind of shit, but like there was tons of stuff where it was like the science of gross shit, and that's because kids are fucking fascinated by that stuff. So like, yeah, I do remember a decent amount from that. Jack Murphy only buys fart jars from dudes. Well, there you go. Maybe I could sell him one for $1,000. I could use the fart. Like, I'm not getting no super chats here. So now I got to start selling farts to Jack Murphy just to get by. I hope y'all are happy. So it says, imagine getting a stable of women and just farming them. It's the next gold rush. Oh my God. Again, though, I still contend. All you need is a cute girl just to take some fucking pictures and a promo video, and then you can just fart in a jar yourself. Who the fuck's gonna know? Who's gonna know? Is there gonna be somebody that's so fucking degenerate they can tell the difference they got a Wolverine nose on them and they can tell the difference between a man and a woman's farts? If you're gonna chew your chewy, that's fine. Otherwise, you're gonna get back in your bed. And I don't want to hear no fake crying about it this time. Trying to make me look bad. Uh, exactly, Jay. You could get a high class hooker for that kind of money. You know, instead of just a stale fart in a jar. All right, you're getting in your bed. Yes, exactly. You just want to bother me because I'm streaming. It's like he hears me talking and thinks I'm talking to him or something. So he says Jack Murphy guy's bonkers. Literally every degenerate sex shit he's on top of. Well, I mean, we covered Jack pretty extensively here. So he says that's why you put beans in chili for the farts. Well, much like buying a fart jar, beans and chili are fucking degenerate, just so we're clear. Oh, Outback has a great chili, by the way, right now. Put steak in it. They call it their Tasmanian chili. Good spice blend in it, and no fucking beans. Just actual vegetables with flavor and nutritional value and shit like that in there. You know, peppers and onions and stuff like that. You know, no fucking beans. Beans are trash. Right? Oh, Lordy. The girl that sells her farts in a jar. I mean, she made $78,000 in a couple of months. You know, so we can sit there and laugh at her. But even, I don't know, maybe the hospital bill fucking wrecked her. Who knows? Gave herself a fart attack. Oh yeah, $78,000 in a couple of months. That's nothing to sneeze at. So she says, how much was the hospital bill? I don't know. But I mean, if she didn't have a day job, which she was doing so well, even if she did before that, she probably quit. I have to assume. Looked like she was going all in on the fart racket. And if she didn't have a day job, then I mean, she probably didn't have insurance. Because insurance, you know, does insurance cover a fart attack? I think a fart attack is probably covered. Her business acumen is astute. I mean, she made some money. You know, I'm going to go to the box factory for 40 hours come Monday for, you know, this week. Same as, you know, I ain't making no, yeah. Even when my book's done, I doubt I'm going to be, you know, making hundreds of thousands of dollars in a couple of months. Because, you know, that's probably what you made. Like that, she doesn't strike me as someone who looks like she was spending money too. Looks like she was well to do. So I doubt that was all the money she made. It's on the medical chart, blew her asshole out. She blew an O-ring. At least I have my soul. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind as I go to work in my shitty box factory. I don't even blame her. I don't even blame her. If guys wanted to, if one of you was like, fart in a jar right now and send it to me, I'll give you $1,000. I'd be like, fuck yeah. As soon as that money clears, just give me a jar. And give me your address, buddy. I don't blame her. Or you want to blame somebody, blame the fucking degenerate scumbags who want to pay $1,000 for a fart jar. Or whatever the fuck they're paying for a fart NFT. NFT. Like that guy that was whining that his fucking monkey NFTs got stolen. Oh, they stole the blockchain code. That was my mortgage, my kid's college fund. It's like, if you're betting your whole fucking future on a pyramid scheme involving JPEGs and poorly drawn monkeys, I look down on you even more than the fart jar lady. You know, at least if you buy a fart jar, you actually did buy a fucking thing. A real fucking thing that actually exists. You even have a jar at the end of it you could rinse out and use for something else. Something that doesn't make God weep. So he says, am I still on Facebook? I am still on Facebook, yes. So he says, I don't understand the NFTs. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme about speculating on the so-called rights to a fucking JPEG. Like, here's the other thing. Like, people, because, you know, the joke is like, oh, you could just right-click an NFT and like, well, yeah, but I own the rights. Motherfucker, this isn't an actual character people give a shit about. You act like you own the rights to fucking Garfield or Spider-Man or something. Like, you bought the rights to a poorly drawn monkey. Like, you would have been better off trying to secure the rights to fucking Sonichu. And you can't even really legally do anything with that because fucking derivative bullshit. But this isn't, what are you selling the movie rights to your fucking NFT monkey? Like, obviously you're not. You own the rights to nothing is what you own. All right. Like, when I was a kid, for about like probably a 6 to 9 month time, we were all obsessed with Pogs. And I went into the history of Pogs on here before. And that was retarded. By the way, that was absolutely retarded. We were all retarded for it. Okay? But at least if somebody like goes into their closet and digs out their fucking Pog collection, it's at least actual fucking things they own. Well, I own the rights to this poorly drawn monkey JPEG. Again, this isn't like you own the rights to an IP that could be leveraged into making money. Like, the only way you can leverage it into making money is selling the rights to someone else who, it's a pyramid scheme. It's the definition of a pyramid scheme. You know, I bought this thing so I could sell it to someone else for more money, but I have no interest in the thing. The thing itself is worthless. We're just all pretending it has fucking value. But eventually that game of musical chairs comes to an end, and whoever doesn't fucking have a seat at the end of it just spent $100,000 on a picture of a monkey. Somebody says, I loved Pogs as a kid. I still had the Sonic Pogs. Oh, I never had any Sonic Pogs. I never knew anything about Sonic Pogs. She says, Bedglov, if you own a Disney NFT, you will get invites to screenings of Marvel movies. I mean, being into collectibles is fucking autistic and retarded at the end of the day anyways. And I say that as someone who's spent his life collecting random bullshit. You know, like I collected comic books for many, many years. Still have a couple of boxes that I hold on to. I collect retro games now, but I mean, at least those are things. At least a comic book you could take out of the bagging board and fucking read it. You know, a fucking game, you know, a Game Boy game you could stick in your fucking Game Boy and fucking play it. What do you do with a fucking JPEG of a monkey? You know, even a Pog, like you'd say a Pog is just a picture. It's just a little piece of cardstock paper or just a little piece of cardboard. Yeah, but you know what? If push comes to shove, I could fucking burn it to stay warm. What are you doing with a fucking monkey JPEG? So he says Pogs are cool. No, not PAWG. That's fat ass white girl. I mean, those are also very cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a fan of those. Trust me, if I had the money, I would collect those. But no, I was talking about Pogs from back. uh, but yeah, Pogs are much more. Pogs are much. I would rather invest in Pogs than NFTs. Like, think how many Pogs you could buy for $10,000. Like, basically all of them. I had so many stupid Pogs. I had some Simpsons ones. I had one that was like a sheet of 20. It was just some random promotional art of The Simpsons. Like, like that early promotional art that really wasn't drawn well, and Bart had a blue shirt, even though he basically never had one in the show. And but then I had like a set of 1 through 50 that I got, and this one I really loved. Each one was a different character, so you had all these at the time, obscure characters with their full name on there. Those were cool as fuck. But I mean, they were even lamer than trading cards. At least trading cards have like information on the back and shit like that. It's like, here's a fucking, if you got like superhero trading cards like I did as a kid, I had a few of those. It's like, oh, Hobgoblin, and then there's a fucking bio on the back, its first appearance, and recent history, and its name, and power levels, and that sort of shit. Ain't none of that on the bag of Pogs, just blank white. Still though, you are far better off buying Pogs than buying fucking poorly drawn fucking JPEGs of monkeys. Ugh. Bottled farts is a better buy than an NFT. I mean, at least in theory, you could burn the methane out of it, so it has some possible use. I own the rights to this poorly drawn monkey. Well, cool. I'm sure you'll be a billionaire when there's a fucking movie made of this poorly drawn monkey. I had some DS9 Pogs. I don't remember. I don't think I had any Star Trek ones. I had a bunch of Simpsons ones. Simpsons was hot shit at the time. I had a couple of X-Men and Spider-Man ones. I had some Saved by the Bell ones. You talk about being a fucking dork. I had 6 Saved by the Bell Pogs, one of each of the main characters. Um, what else did I have Pog wise? I had a bunch of random designs that weren't like any real thing. Trying to think of like any other licensed ones I had. Those are the only ones that come to mind. It was so long ago. Good God. I I actually threw out all my Pogs at one point, just clearing out stuff. This was in like my 20s. And I was such a dork. I didn't even just have them in tubes. I bought the fucking sheets to put them in. Like, like trading cards, you can get the card sheets, where it's like 9 cards in a page and put them in a binder. They made that for Pogs. I think it was like 20 Pogs in a page, like 4 by 5. And I was such a fucking dork. I had a bunch of those, right? And to keep my nicer Pogs in because they were gonna go up in value. And one day my Saved by the Bell Pogs were really gonna fucking skyrocket. So what I ended up doing, I got rid of the Pogs because like who the fuck cares? And then I ended up giving them to a buddy of mine. I haven't even seen him in years. It was a work buddy, so I wasn't super close to him. But he collected fucking guitar picks of all stuff, and he had some that were really, really nice, supposedly. I don't fucking know if there's any real market to that, but he had some that he thought were really nice, and I was like, here, you can probably stick them in these. And he was like, "Oh, these are amazing. What are these for?" He was a few years younger than me. And I was like, "These were for Pogs." And he's like, because I was like mid-20s, so he was like 19 or 20, so he was just a few years younger than me. So I guess he was just too young to have caught the Pog craze. You know, maybe like he tried to get his mom to buy him Pogs, and his mom was like, "That's retarded. I'm not getting you that." Which, in all fairness, you know, good call there. Uh, so he says the Capitol cops gave interviews. Pelosi even had, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I know they were all crying. Oh, and then the guy just like Buffalo. He yelled MAGA really, really loud. Shut up, you fag. And Cruz was saying like, "Oh, it's a solemn anniversary of a terrorist attack," and then he went on like Tucker the night after that, and Tucker just pushed his shit in. Like, it was pretty funny. Like Tucker was just like, "No, you're full of shit." With all due respect, Senator, no, I don't believe you. I think you're full of shit. Uh, oh, Lordy. The only time I've seen Pogs go for any amount of money after like that brief window in like 95, there was, it was in a collection of stuff I got. I got a collection of, they were still, like, Pogs would often come in like a sheet, and then you like poked them out, right? This was a sheet of like X-Men Pogs, and nobody had even poked them out. And I actually remember selling that to an X-Men buddy when I had my comic stand. It came in a collection and all for about $10, which probably adjusted for inflation is probably what it would have cost new anyways. But given, you know, that most Pogs aren't worth a goddamn penny now, probably pretty good. But he was such an X-Men fan, he just wanted all sorts of X-Men stuff. The weirdest thing I ever sold at that stand, at that flea market, and I almost don't know how to describe this. So we get this collection, 4 or 5 boxes, Spider-Man comics mostly. I'm going through and I'm pricing stuff. I'm checking condition, you know. A lot of it was going in the dollar bin. A lot of it was kind of beat up. But we didn't pay much for it anyways. I pull out this comic. It's very obviously not an official comic. I mean, especially when you look at it. But just at a glance, you know it's not. It's what they would call an ash can size. Like a promotional size where it's probably 60% the size of a regular comic. It's in a regular bag and board because they don't make it. But I guess it's roughly the size of a manga digest. But it's a comic, right? So I pull out this comic. Right away, the cover's looking weird. It's got Spider-Man, Human Torch, and I think Venom was on there. And all their bulges are pretty fucking pronounced. Immediately, like it's the first fucking thing you notice. And it says Spider-Man Triple X is the title of this thing. And I pull it out. I open it up. And this is a Spider-Man gay porn parody. And it's just Spider-Man and the Human Torch and Venom and Doc Octopus, and they're all fucking. It's about, I think, 10 pages or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Where did this come from? It looked pretty professionally printed. Like, it didn't look like somebody just, like, Xeroxed this off at Kinko's. You know what I mean? But it looked pretty professionally printed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, oh god. And then I'm thinking like, oh, I gotta figure out what this is. There was an artist listed. I can't even remember his name. It was like a username. It looked like a DeviantArt name.
Have you heard of Jesus?
But when I Googled him with my safe search on, apparently he had a website where he does gay porn parodies, popular things. And I'm like, okay, but are you selling comics here? You know, like, are you selling physical media? And I could not find any evidence that this guy was selling physical media. He just had a, you know, like a porn site, like, you know, put in your credit, you get, you know, stuff behind a paywall. And I'm like, this is the weirdest thing. And then it's like, then it becomes like this weird anomaly. You know what I mean? Like, I could ultimately find, like, I could find scans of what was going on in this comic. But I could find no evidence that this comic book existed in a physical form, except for the fact that I was holding a fucking copy of it. And I'm like, what do we do with this thing? Like, this is so fucking weird, right? So I had no idea what to do with it. So I slapped a $5 fucking price tag on this packing board. And we had like a case, like our counter was also like a display case, right? With some like expensive issues in it. And I just stuck it kind of behind a bunch of other ones. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So the one guy who's a regular customer. Yes, Chris bought the entire stock. I'll take the JonTron clip. I'll take your entire stock. So he comes in, and I show him this, and we're kind of laughing about it. And I was like, hey, it's $5. You want it? And I'm telling him it's like one of a kind, as far as I know, right? So I talked this Spider-Man fan into buying this. And as far as I know, he is not gay at all. He's literally buying it for the weird fucking novelty of it all to stick in his collection. And I kind of don't blame him. Because if I was still collecting comics hardcore, I think I would have put it away. Because it's so fucking weird. Near as I can tell, I have found no fucking evidence. Aside from the fact that I held the damn thing in my hands, I could find no evidence that it exists. And it doesn't seem like this guy ever ever made physical media of his stuff. But somebody pretty fucking professionally decided to print out his fucking Spider-Man fucking Venom comic and stick it in a bagging board. We have a super chat here, $1 from Eldritch Fan. Says, every anniversary I will light a candle in Ashley's memory and eat a slice of apple pie. I might set off some fireworks. Yes. Press F for Ashley Babbitt. But yeah, that was probably the weirdest thing we had ever seen come and go through our comic stand. I mean, there was some oddball stuff that came through, but like that one was the weirdest.
Have you heard of Jesus?
The other thing that was hard to find, there was an issue of Superman Man of Tomorrow. And we couldn't figure out why, but this issue had no fucking title on it. Like, the Superman Man of Tomorrow logo was on there, and no number. It was just the cover art for it, but then you open it up, and it was Superman Man of Tomorrow #5. We had a couple others of that issue, and I'm like, why does this one have no fucking title? And then as I looked through, I realized it was actually a little shorter, and it didn't have any of the ads. Same paper stock. And I had to do research online, and it was actually, I guess, a variant, for lack of a better term, but it came with a figure. It came with an action figure, that's why. Tom Bombadil sends $5, says, NFTs are one thing, but to be a No coiner at this point is Luddite. It's financially Amish. I mean, look, I don't have any Bitcoin at this point because I just don't, I don't really have any money to convert into Bitcoin. I really should set up a wallet and take donations, but, add that to the long list of things I should do. In all fairness, though, I've mostly given up the soda. I will have like 2, maybe 3 small cans of soda a week. Just to get some caffeine. And even that, I'm thinking of just going to GNC and get some caffeine pills. But I've cut way back. I mean, we're talking like, less in a week than my fat ass would sometimes have in a day. But yeah, trying to not be such a fat ass. Lig McCoin. Exactly, chat. So, y'all want to watch Tucker pushing Ted Cruz's shit? See if we can get this to go. So we sit back, walk, go in no corn syrup mode. I am trying to just drink water. That's it. The only other thing I'll have is I'll have some V8 Fusion, which, I mean, isn't the best thing for you, but it's just fruit juice. It's and vegetable juice too. But even that, I don't have a ton of it. All right. All right, so let's watch Tucker demolish Ted Cruz.
So we played this tape for you last night. We were surprised by it. We prefaced it by saying every conservative appreciates Ted Cruz because he's one of the smartest and most articulate people in the Congress, and he's conservative. But he referred publicly to what happened on January 6th as, quote, a violent terror attack. Here it is.
We are approaching a solemn anniversary this week, and it is an anniversary of a violent terrorist attack on the Capitol, where we saw the men and women of law enforcement demonstrate incredible courage, incredible bravery, risk their lives to defend the men and women who serve in this Capitol.
God, conservative cop worship is the fucking worst. I know I go on about it all the time here, but we're never going to get anywhere till you get rid of your thin blue line cuckery.
Senator Cruz was game enough to come on tonight. We appreciate that. He joins us now. Senator, thanks so much for coming on. So I guess there are a lot of dumb people in the Congress. You're not one of them. I think you're smarter than I am. And you never use words carelessly. And yet you called this a terror attack when by no definition was it a terror attack. That's a lie. You told that lie on purpose, and I'm wondering why you did.
Damn. This is why I like Tucker. This is a guy he likes, and he's just pushing his shit in.
Well, Tucker, thank you for having me on. When you aired your episode last night, I sent you a text shortly thereafter and said, listen, I'd like to go on because the way I phrased things yesterday, it was sloppy and it was frankly dumb. And
I don't buy that. Whoa. I don't buy that. Look, I've known you a long time since...
He's smiling at him. I don't buy that. No, bullshit. I'm calling shenanigans. Oh, I love Tucker.
Before you went to the Senate, you were a Supreme Court contender. You take words as seriously as any man who's ever served in the Senate. And every word, you repeated that phrase. I do not believe that you used that accidentally. I just don't.
So, Tucker, as a result of my sloppy phrasing, it's caused a lot of people to misunderstand what I meant. Let me tell you what I meant to say. What I was referring to are the limited number of people who engaged in violent attacks against police officers. Now, I think you and I both agree that if you assault a police officer, you should go to jail. That's who I was talking about. And the reason the phrasing was sloppy is I have talked dozens, if not hundreds of times. I've drawn a distinction. I wasn't saying that the thousands of peaceful protesters supporting Donald Trump are somehow terrorists. I wasn't saying the millions of patriots across the country supporting President Trump are terrorists, and that's what a lot of people have misunderstood that comment.
Wait a second, but wait, but hold on. What you just said doesn't make sense. So if somebody assaults a cop, he should be charged and go to jail. I couldn't agree more. We've said that for years. But that person's still not a terrorist. How many people have been charged with terrorism on January 6th? Like, why'd you use that word? You're playing into the other side's characterization that, as Joe Kent just explained, allows them to define an entire population as foreign combatants. And you know that. So why'd you do it?
So Tucker, let me answer you directly. The reason I use that word, for a decade, I have referred to people who violently assault police officers as terrorists. I've done so over and over and over again. If you look at all the...
Ted, you need to start referring to many of the police officers who violently assault law-abiding citizens. And look, I know you can point to all the times of a good boy who didn't do nothing, but really was a piece of shit. But, like, how many no-knock raids gone wrong? How many dogs have been shot just because they were barking? How many... No, fuck the police. Okay? You know, I'm sorry. Did y'all forget 2020 happened? When the police were writing people tickets and throwing them in jail for wanting to get their hair cut or go to church on Easter? Fuck the police. Conservatives really need to get this through their head. Okay? Joe Biden can say whatever the fuck he wants. He can issue any mandates, any dictates, any fucking executive orders that senile, withered old pedophile can come up with. But they don't mean fuck and all until a man with a gun and a badge and a uniform, be it police or military, decides to stick a gun in your fucking face for defying it.
Assaults we've seen across the country, I've called that terrorism over and over again. That being said, Tucker, I agree with you. It was a mistake to say that yesterday, and the reason is what you just said, which is we've now had a year of Democrats in the media twisting words and trying to say that all of us are terrorists, trying to say you're a terrorist, I'm a terrorist. And so, look, I don't like people who assault cops, and I stand up and defend cops. And the reason I use that word is that's the word I've always used for people that violently attack cops.
I love this look of, like, you're full of shit on Tucker's face. I just love that.
But in this context, I get why people were angry, because we've had a year of the corrupt corporate media and Democrats claiming anyone who objected to the election fraud. And by the way, remember what was happening during those protests?
Can I just ask, hold on, you work in the... I guess I just don't believe you. And I mean that with respect, because...
I mean that with respect, but you're a lying sack of shit.
I have such respect for your acuity and your precision, and I've seen it on display. I've covered you as a reporter. I know how you speak. And you have sat there for a year and watched people use language to distort the events of that day. Intentionally. Insurrection. Coup.
And of course it
terrorism.
Was an insurrection. Saying it's an insurrection is a political term. It's a lie. I've repeatedly denounced it. And when it comes to, look, I was focusing on what I normally say. That what you aired was a little 15-second snippet. What I normally say is violence is wrong, peaceful protest is right. If you engage in violence, you should be prosecuted. If you're speaking, you have a right to speak. I say that all the time.
Well, I agree.
In that snippet.
So who's Ray Epps, by the way, since you are a senator? Like, he and this other guy are clearly encouraging the crowd to commit crimes. Neither one has been arrested or charged. What is that, do you think?
So I think that is a very good question. I don't know who Ray Epps is. I've seen that video multiple times. It's disturbing. He's clearly urging the crowd to violate the law. When you see the crowd start chanting, Fed, 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 for him to appear on the FBI's most wanted list and come off, it certainly suggests he was working for the FBI. That's not conclusive, but that's the obvious implication. and the Attorney General and the Department of Justice won't answer the question. Tucker, I can tell you, I joined with a number of other senators trying to get the Biden DOJ to answer the question why so many January 6 prisoners are in solitary confinement, why they're being treated so much worse than the Antifa rioters and the people who committed firebombing and a year of riots across the country. And this Biden DOJ won't go after them. But let me also make a quick point, Tucker. Remember, while thousands of people were standing up to defend this country on January 6th, at that exact moment, I was standing on the Senate floor objecting to the election results, demanding that we impanel an election commission to consider evidence of voter fraud. And I brought together 11 senators to join me in supporting getting to the bottom of that. So, of course, it would be ridiculous for me to be saying that the people standing up and protesting to follow the law were somehow terrorists. I was talking about people who commit violence against cops. And you and I both agree, if you commit violence against cops, you should go to jail.
Yeah, but you're not a terrorist. You know, you're not. You're a guy who assaulted a cop. Okay, so there's a legal difference, as you well know, better than I do, since you were actually in the running for the Supreme Court. And there's a moral difference between a guy,
Tucker, the reason I use that word is for a decade I've used that word for people that violently assault cops. I use that word all in 2020 for the Antifa and BLM terrorists that assaulted cops and firebombed police cars. But I agree, it was a mistake to use the word yesterday because the Democrats and the corporate media have so politicized it. They're trying to paint everyone as a terrorist, and it's a lie. Exactly. And by the way, I've spoken out vocally against your exchange you just had. They want to paint us as Nazis. Yes,
I know, it's scary.
That is what they're trying to do. And look, I'm the one leading the fight in the Senate against this garbage. And it's what I have been doing, and it's what I'll continue doing.
Well, I appreciate your coming on tonight. Thank you very much, Senator Ted Cruz of Texas.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. I still exist. How fucking mad do you think Sean Hannity is about Tucker? It's like that scene in The Godfather. The elder brother's like, I was stepped over. How fucking mad. Like Hannity was next in line. Like Bill O'Reilly retired. Hannity was next in line. Along comes our bow tie boy. And just completely cuts in front of him. Oh. Every Fox News YouTube clip ends with, hey, Sean Hannity here. I still exist. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. And I still exist. Please pay attention to me. Oh, man. I was stepped over. Oh, Lordy. Well, shit. I think I'm about out of stuff to talk about. And y'all ain't sending me no more super chats. So, you're not gonna get a fart in a jar if you don't cough up a little bit more money in this. Come on, guys. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Do you want to hear me talk about my karate? Oh my God, he brings that up so much. He really does. He just shoehorns in there. He's like fucking Teddy Spaghetti with talking about how he's a karate master. I do kickboxing. It's like, yeah, we know. Why don't you have Vox Day on and talk about it? Oh, Lordy. God, how mad do you think Sean is? I can't imagine how much he's like watching Hannity in his fucking dressing room before he goes live. Or watching Tucker, and he's all like, what has he got that I don't? All right, folks. If you enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. We got the paypal.me/thebechtloff, streamlabs.com/thebechtloff. You can send a donation when I'm not live, and I'll see it when I am live. And yes, Eldritch fan, I did read your super chat earlier. One about the anniversary. We did read that. And thebechtloff.store is a quick link to my wish list. And you can buy me dumb shit that I like there. And that's about it for today. I want to thank you all for listening. Bedglov out.